Focus! This will be tight!
Blast out!
Detective Weave. Osa!
Face your fate!
Thundersurge! Cloak of Bliss.
Busters of Ruin! Rolling flare! Hook Karen!
Shine on! Burn! Infinite Wave!
Forever destruction!
It ends. I'll show you my true potential. Asterism line. Shine on! Lightning! Frozen Ray!
Let's begin! Calamity Rondo!
Shine on! Get ready!
We must always give it our best. That wasn't it, was it? This one won't move either.
However, they look like elevators, so it's hard to imagine they're being controlled externally.
The devices in front of the elevators don't seem to be active. Perhaps if we set something into them...
Everyone stay on your game! Shine on! Get ready! Detective Weave! Wheel of Fate!
Darkness! Oh, corrosion, butcher of hope!
Get ready! There!
How unpleasant!
Destruction! Enemy! Hear my plea!
Healing wind!
Get ready! Hands of love, give name to the flame that offers its nurturing hand.
Plenty of room for improvement, but we can let it slide.
Focus! This will be tight. Parting is sweet.
Bloodshot! Tiger Blade!
There! Here goes!
Struggle no more.
Settle down! Hands up! Shine on! There! Here goes! All so bounced in one.
Things seem rough between Asbel and Sharia.
I know! It's like they've got sandpaper between them or something.
That's not it at all.
Can't be screwing around this time!
Gravity Drive!
Here goes!
Blast
Blessing reveal thy name! Swing! It ends! Swarm of infinite blades! Your dreams shattered in vain! Punishing blossom! Shine on! Here goes! Can you dodge this?
Prepare yourself! Dance like the damned! Instant balls!
There! Lightning! Come
City
forth!
Arc!
Blossom rain!
Beast Blaster!
Thunder Surge! Reveal the name that shines upon us, not with rage or mercy, but with simple truth. There! I serve to protect.
Focus! This will be tight. You ready for this?
Shine on! Get ready!
First shot!
I destroy with blessings of peace and in this name, shine on! Here goes! Cloak of blessed gossamer, reveal thy name. There! Here goes! Lightning, come forth!
Rays of light shine upon them!
Oh, angry howl of the dragon god! Burning!
Rays of light shine! Rays of light shine upon us!
Let's make it a medley!
A swing! Thunder Surge! Strands of love, give name to the brilliance that offers us. Shine on! Get ready!
Healing wind!
All shall bask in warmth.
Rays of light shine upon us! Healing wind!
Angry howl of the dragon god!
There! Here goes!
Icy Tang, form thy severing blade and strike down all who oppose me!
Bloodshot!
Here goes!
Everyone did as well as could be expected.
Stay on your game.
A shame to part ways.
There, here goes.
Danger! Oh, angry Thy rage
Ends. Swarm of infinite blades. Your dreams shattered in vain. Punishing blossom.
I must admit that your skills are quite impressive.
Aren't you sweet?
screwing around this time!
This is trouble.
Stop sign! Shine on! Cloak of Blessed Gossamer revealed by Wheel of Fate! Awesome!
Oh, angry howl of the dragon god!
Rare blue flame! Shine on! Here goes!
Shine upon us! Brave and digger!
Wheel of Fate! Wind! And swing! Thunder surge! All shall bask in light!
Struggle no more!
Not too shabby!
Cannon of
Need
peace!
to heal!
Oh, angry howl of the dragon god!
Get ready! Take this! Heal bigger! Shine on! Get ready! Everyone's fine. That's what matters.
We will survive! Okay! Hold it right there! Incineration wave! Come forth!
It ends. Virtuous souls gather in the Garden of Healing. Shine on! Garden of Innocence!
Blow him down! That's First it's over! Rip to pieces! Stampede strike! Let's keep moving!
Focus! This will be tight!
Okay! Incineration wave!
Thunder Surge! Can you dodge this?
Door!
Shine on!
By moonlight!
Wheel of Fate!
Won't make her regret this!
Shine on! Here goes! All shall bask in light!
The dragon god!
Thunder Surge! This ends here!
Enter the abyss!
There! Here goes!
Strike! Not yet! Great work, Captain!
You're not doing so bad there yourself, Asbel.
I expect the best from everyone. Okay, hold it right there!
Cloak of Blessed Gossamer, reveal thy name!
Breath of flame! Photon burst!
Shine on! Here goes! Blaze of love, give name to the brilliance that offers its mercy and hand!
Yes! Slow him down!
There! Lightning strike!
Slow him down!
Yes!
Demon Fang! Enter the abyss!
And swing!
Slow him down!
Acid Blade!
Megasonic
Feel our
Blast!
triumph!
Burn!
Divine Saber!
No one can stand before my blade!
This looks just like that machine from the ruins beneath Wallbridge.
This device preserves visual recordings of research targets.
Lambda. Oh, hey, there's that word again.
What does it mean, anyway?
Lambda. In our world, Lambda has come to mean nightmare.
Why is that?
Lambda is a life form we discovered by accident while researching the Lustalia. When the Institute's director, Professor Cornell, began to study it, it quickly became a nightmare for us all. The worst aspect of Lambda, and there are many, is an ability to hatch monsters from its body. These monsters threw Fodra into chaos, and eventually led to its destruction.
That cocoon!
It looks just like the one that appeared at World's Eye.
After wreaking havoc here, Lambda fled to your world of Aphinia. We knew Lambda had to be stopped, so we created a humanoid capable of fighting it and initiated pursuit. That humanoid is Protos Haste, the one you call Sophie. Unfortunately, Protos Haste was unable to destroy Lambda. After much discussion, we surviving Fodrans chose to seal off Aphinia in the hopes of containing Lambda there. But now, after so many years, the Aphenians have come to us.
So you built Sophie and then sent her to our world so she could defeat Lambda. Does that mean Lambda is the one who created the cocoon?
But wait, that doesn't make sense. I mean, Richard made the cocoon, right? Maybe Lambda knows how to disguise itself or something. Maybe it just looks like Richard.
I refuse to believe that Richard and Lambda are the same. I know Richard. He's not a monster. He can't be.
Sophie's getting worse.
We must hurry.
I agree. Come on. Toy blocks? What are those doing here?
Interesting. Cornell used those as part of his research.
Cornell? Was he related to this facility?
Correct. Cornell was a foremost researcher of humanoid development, a key mind in the field of biotechnology.
Is this Cornell person still alive?
I'm afraid not. From my understanding, Cornell died before the Great War began in Fodra. However, his research lived on, and was the foundation for many spectacular breakthroughs. It truly is a shame that such an accomplished individual such as he would lead such a short-lived life.
Asbel, Sharia, we should move on.
Yes, of course.
What's happening?
Protos Haste's particles are breaking down.
Excuse me?
Protos Haste is composed of individual particles that act in concert with each other. These particles, tinier than a grain of sand, come together to form a human shape. And while they act as one, the particles also possess the ability to separate from each other, which is what you see happening right now.
Asbel, Sharia, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
It's the result of a process called distributive preservation. Your friends must be completely synchronized with Protos Haste's particles.
I don't understand.
When Protos Haste suffers heavy damage, it usually splits into individual particles, shuts down all functionality, and begins the process of reconstruction. This is known as particle preservation. Distributive preservation, on the other hand, allows Protos Haste to implant its particles into one or more separate vessels. Have you ever seen Protos Haste split into particles like this? Anyone?
That must be what happened 7 years ago.
But the unit shouldn't actually engage that procedure. The reason being, distributed preservation makes it much more difficult for the particles to reform. Failure could render reformation impossible, so why would Protos Haste have risked entering that state?
Would her particles have any kind of effect on the vessels that they went into?
Yes. In fact, while the particles prepare for reconstruction, they would repair any damaged areas of the vessel as well.
So Sophie split herself into 3 parts and then used those parts to save Asbel, Sharia, and little bro.
But then that means Sophie didn't die after all. She was just recuperating within us.
It's amazing. She's been with us this whole time.
I see. Then this would explain why we possess some of the same powers she has.
Incredible.
So, what would happen if she underwent distributive preservation again in her current condition?
Distributive preservation does not allow for reconstruction of the self. She would lose all elements of her current identity.
Sophie, you risked your life for us.
Impossible. Protos Haste was never designed for this kind of self-sacrifice. I fear further particle breakdown could be disastrous. We must hurry.